And I've got the pleasure of chatting to Kerry Hiles. We'll be discussing Jou Ma Se Platespeler, and that's quite an interesting name. Where does this name come from?
I've been touring for a couple of years with two fine, outstanding musicians, Christo Zondag and Rob Thompson. And we've been doing some tribute shows around the country, and they've met with some good response. But one of our fans approached Christo and said, listen, you've done a bunch of English tribute shows, but really what I want to hear is Afrikaans. And she sent us a list of songs that she'd like us to cover. And we started designing a script around those songs and discovered that it follows a beautiful chronological order of what happens in music technology, from the platespeler to the cassette to the CD to your online streaming music.
Yeah.
But also what is very interesting is that at the same time that the technology was changing, the music styles in Afrikaans was changing.
Yeah.
And the political voice of Afrikaans artists was also changing, as was the landscape in our country. So there's all these parallels that run, and they're underscored by this beautiful music that everyone will know. We start with crusty trusties like Raypert and move on into some Lyrica Rauch and into Karen Zoid and various other artists. So we've got a whole smorgasbord of music. It's the very acoustic stuff, and then it moves into heavy rock stuff. And it's stuff that everyone will recognize. And we've had the most wonderful feedback for the couple of shows that we've done already. One of the ladies that came to watch the show in Sedgefield said, "Oh, die musiek bruis in my are. Dit is fantasties om weer te hoor." We've had to reinvent a lot of the music because it is only bass, guitar, and drums. We've got two vocalists on stage, and Christo Zondag really shines. He's behind the kits, but he's singing at the same time. And he hooks out a glockenspiel and really surprises us all, so much so that his mother said, "My son's been a drummer for so many years, but now he's a real musician. He's playing an instrument." It's a lovely show. It runs for about 2 hours. There is an interval as well. The response to the show has really taken us by surprise. We sort of did it as a commission, and it was only going to really be one, maybe two performances. And now it's really branching out. We're going to be doing performances all over the country.
What were some of the challenges that you faced by producing and putting up this show?
One of the main challenges is that our guitarist is very much an Englishman, and so he had to learn how to play guitar in a foreign language.
Yo.
And I know that sounds a little bit odd, but because a lot of the chord changes are more based in a traditional kind of music, he plays a lot of country music, but it's not the same as Afrikaans.
Yeah.
You know, the chord changes are in strange places, so his eyes and his ears were wide open. And for Christo and I have sort of grown up with that music. It's a natural kind of thing. And then what he did as well was plug the lyrics into Google Translate, and it came back with this beautiful poetry in English.
Wow.
And he was like, I had no idea that's what these songs were about. And he used them to his advantage to woo some ladies.
Nice. I'm going to take some notes on that. Why should everyone come out and check out this show?
Because you walk away with a feeling of proudly South African, and it doesn't matter what your background is. You're like, hey man, this stuff came from our country.
Yeah.
And secondly, also just to kind of have a good laugh at where we've come through technology and attitudes. It's a good, light-hearted look at some of the South African history, and also just everybody loves the music. Even if it's not really your style, you've heard that stuff before, and you've got a memory around it.
That
And
is so true.
I think that's what the secret to the success is.